A quiet beach town, a string of bodies, and a man living a double life. The Gilgo Beach murders haunted New York for over a decade, and now the man accused of being the Long Island serial killer is finally standing trial. But who is Rex Heuermann? In today's story, we dive deep into one of the most disturbing and mysterious true crime cases in America: the Gilgo Beach murders. For years, police searched for a predator who left at least 11 victims along a stretch of coastline in Long Island, New York. In 2022, a shocking break in the case led investigators to a man named Rex Heuermann, a seemingly ordinary architect, husband, and father. But beneath that suburban image, prosecutors allege, was a man hiding a terrifying secret. It began in December 2010 on a quiet stretch of Ocean Parkway in Long Island, New York. Police officers were searching for a missing woman, Shannon Gilbert, when they stumbled upon something far more disturbing. Instead of finding Shannon, they uncovered the remains of another young woman wrapped in burlap. Days later, as investigators searched further along the beach, they discovered 3 more bodies. All 4 women were sex workers who had gone missing in the area. The discovery shocked the nation, and the case quickly became known as the Gilgo Beach murders. As the months went on, police found even more remains along that stretch of beach and nearby areas, eventually uncovering the remains of 11 victims in total. Some were identified, while others remained nameless for years. The mystery was chilling. Who was hunting women on Long Island, and why? For over a decade, the case went cold. Detectives had theories, but no solid suspect. The public began to lose hope that the killer would ever be caught. His name was Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect, a married father, and someone who seemed like an ordinary suburban professional. But his double life was about to be exposed. Police connected him to burner phones that had been used to contact several of the victims. They also traced his car, a Chevrolet Avalanche, which matched witness descriptions from around the time of the murders. DNA evidence recovered from one of the victims matched Rex through a pizza crust he had thrown away in a Manhattan trash can. Bit by bit, the case against him grew stronger. In July 2023, police surrounded Heuermann's home and arrested him. The news sent shockwaves through the community. Could this quiet architect really be the Long Island serial killer? Prosecutors charged him with the murders of 3 women: Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. He was later also charged in the death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. All 4 had gone missing between 2007 and 2010. Authorities believe he may be linked to more victims, but investigations are ongoing. But behind every headline, every police report, there were women, daughters, sisters, mothers, and friends. Their lives mattered, and their stories deserved to be told. Melissa Barthelemy was just 24 years old. She grew up in Buffalo, New York. Other women. For her children, the wait for justice has been painfully long. Megan Waterman was only 22 years old, from Scarborough, Maine. She was a loving mother to a little girl whom, in September 2010, Amber went missing after leaving her home late at night. Her family reported her disappearance, but she never returned. Her remains were also found along Gilgo Beach. These 4 women, Melissa, Maureen, Megan, and Amber, are often called the Gilgo 4. Their discoveries in 2010 were the turning point that revealed a much larger tragedy. But in 2022, after years of dead ends, investigators finally made a breakthrough. It wasn't luck. It was persistence, patience, and the careful piecing together of small details that others had missed. One of the earliest clues came from the victims themselves. Before their disappearances, several of the women had been contacted by burner phones, prepaid cell phones that leave little trace. For years, detectives couldn't connect those phones to anyone. But technology improved. When investigators re-examined the old phone records, they noticed a pattern. The burner phones often connected to cell towers in Massapequa Park, a quiet Long Island neighborhood. Even more telling, some of those same towers also connected to a personal cell phone belonging to one man, Rex Heuermann. Another clue came from a vehicle. A witness reported seeing a distinctive Chevrolet Avalanche pickup truck around the time one of the women disappeared. That detail stayed buried in the case files for years. But when investigators reviewed the lead again, they discovered that Rex Heuermann owned that exact type of truck. Even boring. But surveillance showed a man living a double life, frequenting online sex sites and using fake identities. The most crucial evidence came in 2022. Police had recovered a strand of hair from one of the burlap bags that wrapped the victims. It wasn't a perfect sample, but it was enough to test. Detectives followed Heuermann. On July 13, 2023, police moved in. They arrested Rex Heuermann outside his office in Manhattan. The quiet architect from Massapequa Park, who had lived just miles from. Detectives had to go back to the beginning, re-examine old evidence, and use new technology to connect the dots. For the families of the victims, the arrest brought hope after so many years of waiting. Justice was finally within reach. And for the investigators, it was proof that even the coldest cases can break, if you never stop looking. In court, Rex Heuermann pleaded not guilty. His defense argues that the evidence is circumstantial and that prosecutors cannot prove he is responsible. But the prosecution insists the phone records, DNA, and vehicle evidence paint a clear picture. As of now, Rex Heuermann is standing trial. Families of the victims wait anxiously for justice after more than a decade of unanswered questions. The trial is expected to be long and complex as lawyers battle over every detail of the case. The Gilgo Beach murders remain one of the most haunting serial killer cases in America. For years, a predator seemed to vanish into the night, leaving only sorrow and fear behind. But now, with us in the courtroom, will reveal the full truth.